This your podcast, nigga. You making me nervous.
It's your boy Sherman. We gonna watch and learn and burn.
You close enough?
Is it your turn?
I'm sorry.
I
just want to make sure.
I'm gonna make sure you do.
Larry.
Oh man.
My Larry.
What's going on, y'all? 75JUNCTION. It's your boy Sherm, and these are my co-hosts Eric and Ant. And today we have a very special guest. We got author Shiino in the building. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So go ahead and tell us about yourself, man. What do you do?
I'm not gonna say I'm a photographer in the 757 area. I'm gonna say I'm the photographer in the 757 area.
Oh, okay. You feeling yourself, huh?
Always.
Into the sky.
always.
Okay.
And it's like, you know, it ain't no shade in no other photographer. It's just I'm confident in my ability. I don't care about no other photography.
Shots.
I'm confident in my abilities.
Right. No, I mean that's good. I mean that's all that matters. That you're confident in your craft.
Oh, yeah,
and you know
of course,
that
of course.
you're gonna produce the best product that you can.
Of course. I got kids to feed.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah. So what's kind of like? So I know you're from the 757 and stuff like that, but a lot of people say this area is boring. How do you find inspiration to take pictures around here? I mean, because a lot of the stuff may be bland or.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say the area is boring. I would say this area has a lack of imagination because most of the shoots that I do is right literally on local Warwick, Jefferson shopping centers like Lee Hall. It ain't nowhere crazy. Lee's Mills, Wood Creek. I ain't going nowhere crazy. So it's just, I just look at it as like it's more of a lack of imagination and a lack of knowing what to do with what you're given. I mean, like, cause you can sit back and complain and say, "Oh, I wish I was in LA or New York. I would be so much of a better photographer." But if you can't make it happen with what you got here, then you're not finna go to New York and just expect your photo shoots to just grow drastically just because you're in New York or you're in LA or you're in a big city. That's not how it works. If you ain't got the tangibles, then it just ain't gonna work. Period.
Okay. So it's kind of like a beauty's in the eye of the beholder type.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I like that.
Like the creativity, you should be creating a great picture instead of using things to make it a great picture.
Absolutely. Yeah, you shouldn't have to base. Yeah, like I said, you should have to base where you're at to determine if your photography is good or not. Like with me, I'm a portrait photographer, so it's the model that has to look good, not necessarily the surrounding area. Like I can do a photo shoot in the studio here and make it look like we somewhere else. It's all in what you do with your skill set. So it ain't no excuse to me. That's how I look at it. It ain't no excuse.
Okay, word.
Yeah, I like that, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you got anything down the pipeline, like any projects you're working on or anything that you would be willing to share? I
got a couple of projects that's coming real soon. Mainly the main one is my store right now. I don't know where I can share the link or anything for people to check it out, but
I'll post it in the video.
Okay, cool. But yeah, my store where I'm selling prints, booking shoots, everything is pretty much going through there. That's kind of like my third child right now, my website. I put a lot of time into it. Well, me and my manager as well. Shout out to Shea Smith, by the way. But
shout out to Shea Smith.
But yeah, that's like that's my main project, the website right now.
Okay.
Shoot wise, y'all gotta wait for that to drop before I spill any of that.
No, of course.
Even though I dropped the commercial for the recent one that's gonna drop soon, but
okay, and that's a whole shoot, correct?
Yeah, that's gonna be a whole set. Yeah, that's the promo for a whole set. That's kind of what I'm gonna start. Yeah, what I just played. Yeah.
Okay, word.
Yeah, I'm gonna start gearing towards that, doing concept art videos for promo for the shoots. Actually, I feel like people grasp more to a video than just a photo. Like it needs some hype.
Right.
To get to it.
Exactly. And that's kind of the premise that I thought of when we were doing the podcast, where I was like, podcasts are typically audio files and things like that. So I wanted to kind of spice it up a little bit, add video to it. That way people can see who they're listening to. Because if you can see who you're listening to, that's oftentimes a lot more intimate, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're there. You can get connected to it better, and you kind of get a better grasp on the people that you're listening to.
Yeah,
you get to see all the excitement
and make it feel more personable.
Exactly. So I just kind of wanted to give it more of a comfortable vibe and make people feel like they was there. So yeah, man, definitely.
Got a favorite scene or a favorite model, favorite?
I think as of right now, I would say that Devin is probably one of my favorite models, and it's not only because I shoot with her the most. It's just when we get together, me, her, and actually Tierra too. my makeup artist is just always something out of nothing, legitimately. Like, we go to
Who made the
Michael's.
mask?
That was Tierra, actually, who made that. And that's something, like I said, we go to Michael's and just buy stuff. Don't have a plan at all. Just buy whatever. Go back to the house and just create. And then it just comes out to what it comes out to. So, yeah, those... Any project with those two is just always dope. But there's a lot of models I like working with. Mina Rose, the model. She's actually my sister, my business sister. We're signed under the same manager. She's like probably one of the dopest models. She just moved to Atlanta. She got a lot of things popping out there. Male models like Raheem, Brendan. So I guess a lot of people I like to work with, but Devin just stands out the most, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, she stands out the most.
Shout out to Devin.
Of course. Tierra as well.
Like that. Keep that same energy. I like that.
So with your photography, is there a certain style of photography that you enjoy doing the most, or anything particular? I
started out doing like the neon shoots, like the nighttime photography. Yeah, and that's like that is my go-to. But I'm trying to branch out now to do like more commercial things like that. But I just want to because a couple of other photographers, I ain't gonna name drop, but they don't hit me up and just say little stuff like they're the best neon photographer in the 75 or they're whatever. I just want to let them know, like, don't think that I lost a step because I ain't doing it, because I can pop back out and do it at any moment. But I just been letting y'all have y'all fun. That's all that is. That's all that is.
So question for you personally.
What's up, bro?
Afterwards, can we please go shoot that Ferris wheel in Norfolk? I really want to do that.
Yeah, bro.
And I think they got the lights going on now. I know it's getting kind of late. But
No, bro. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
You down?
We out.
Astro.
Astro. That's gonna be the caption. Astro.
Yeah.
Shout out to Astro World.
We can do that. We definitely can do that.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm definitely.
But yeah, probably the darker photography is my favorite to do. I'm just like gearing away from it just to add more intangibles to my skill set now. Right.
Diversify kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Like my mentor actually, he told me the dope thing about me is I learned photography backwards, because most photographers learn daylight shooting, natural light shooting, and everything first, and then go to night photography, because night photography is such a difficult thing to learn. But he was like, since you learned it that first, that's why your shots now are coming out how they come out, because you don't need to learn any of that, because you understand lighting already, you understand your depth of field, you understand all of that already, because you forced yourself to learn nighttime photography first. And another it brings me back to the topic. There's no excuse. YouTube is the best teacher that you can have. YouTube is legit how I learned photography. Like, outside of my uncle, YouTube and my uncle, that's legit how I learned photography.
Well, that's what I was about to ask next was what advice would you give somebody that's trying to get into photography? Just to start out.
I would say, because I notice a lot of things like with upcoming photographers on my Facebook timeline, they're so pressed about getting the newest equipment, the newest camera, the newest lenses, the newest all of that, and that's not necessarily where you have to start. Like, granted, my camera I have now, it is, a bit on the more money side, but it's nowhere near top 15 best cameras that's out. Like, nowhere near it. And you would think it is. I know we talk cameras a lot. You would think that it's up there, but it's really not. Like, there's Sony cameras that are 3 times the price of mine that I have that shoots way better. Like me, I started with a Canon T6, not even a T6i, a T6, and that's a $200 camera. And I didn't even have a new one. Mine was handed down to me from my uncle, and I made that work. And I ended up getting $1,000 from shoots. Got my Canon 80D. Thought that was my dream camera, but then I met this Sony, and then that had to get bought. My fiance still to this day don't know how much I spent on that camera. We're gonna keep it that way.
But, don't let that out of the pod.
Don't watch this.
She still don't know. My mom don't know either. But we gonna keep it right there.
In your promo, make sure you don't show
what camera. We still got the Canon 80D in the bag as far as they know.
Plus, technology with cameras, even with your camera phones, the
man.
cameras on your phones have advanced a lot. So it's a lot easier to get good pictures, at least decent to the eye for a normal person.
At the gallery I just did in Richmond, actually, there was a guy that had a table there who was a photographer, and he doesn't have a camera at all. He shoots off his iPhone.
Yeah.
And to me, it makes it art because it's from his iPhone, but yet he prints them out and he puts them in a gallery format. But if he doesn't tell you it was shot with iPhone, you would never know.
Like you said, he uses what he has.
Exactly. And he told me, like, the money that he got, that he's going to get, that he's projecting to get from the showcase is what will buy his first camera. And it's like, I mean, that's why it's no excuse. It's no excuse because he made it to the gallery with the iPhone. So it's like, you can't tell him that he ain't doing something right because he's there.
And that's a 2-in-1. That's a great investment because your phone, obviously, everybody uses that on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And then to have that as a tool to, help you get better at photography and up your career, that's a good investment.
They got little lenses that you can attach as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that greatly boosts the quality of the photos as well.
Especially iPhones.
There's a lot of things you guys can do on your phones, man. Pay a lot of money for them and don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff people.
All the stuff you could do, run a business on your phone, man.
Absolutely.
You can adjust your exposure, all that stuff on there.
So I'm gonna backtrack real quick. So you were talking about neon photography and stuff like that. Is there any inspiration that kind of made you gravitate towards that, or was it kind of just acquired?
So funny story. Like my first photo shoot, like my first fully directed by me photo shoot. I had watched Belly the night before, and the opening scene. Everybody knows the iconic beginning scene of Belly, and so I would always, and for a long time, I would tell people, Belly is like the inspiration for my neon shooting, but it's not necessarily Belly alone. It's just Hype Williams, period. Like just anything that man touches is, I notice that it's what I gravitate to, and I see a lot of him in my work personally. Okay. So it's like I guess I can say that he is my inspiration in terms of the neon shooting and things of that nature. Okay. But it's like Hype Williams is no better than him to me in an artistic visual art at all.
That's
like,
just what you gravitate towards. Exquisite
taste, man.
Yes, man. Hype Williams is like the GOAT.
Dope. Okay, man. Cool. So, as far as doing things in the community and stuff like that, is there any shows that are coming up or anything that you're gonna be participating in that people could look out for?
I'm pending a response right now. The gallery that I was part of, the Raw Artist Gallery, they're actually putting on a showcase in DC. That they invited me out to. Hopefully that works out and I can do that one. But other than that, as of right now, I'm NecoCon. I'm doing NecoCon.
Okay, NecoCon, that's like a cosplay.
Yeah, it's an anime convention, pretty much. Yeah, it's an anime convention.
Man, dude.
We don't want to get on this anime topic now.
I would love to. However, my co-hosts do not indulge themselves in such things.
So. I seen like a half an episode
of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Hey, JoJo.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, so JoJo was like a satirical show, but it's also like real actiony too.
See, I haven't watched it yet, so I can't really.
You haven't watched any JoJo?
Nah, I just seen like trailers.
There's 4 episodes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
There's 4 episodes. So.
5. Well, no, there's
5. The new season?
Yeah, it's a new season.
Okay.
But there are 4 episodes. Yeah, there are 4 episodes in the new season. Actually, episode 5 come out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was watching.
Does Dragon Ball Z count?
Ew.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z counts. It's anime.
That does.
I mean, it's more.
It's an anime, but
I think so. Dragon Ball Z is an anime that got everybody into anime.
That's the hipster
in the
anime.
90s. I wouldn't even say it was hipster. It was just like the age group that you were with and the time that you grew up.
To me, it's like
Dragon
Ball Z. To me, is like that.
Is
that side chick that's there, like you just need, like when you just need to get your rocks off, you could just watch Dragon Ball Z. Like,
That sentence didn't go right, but
well, no, because Dragon Ball Z, I understand what he's saying. So Dragon Ball Z, in the sense, like there is no plot to it. You're not watching it for plot. You're watching it strictly to see people get their ass beat. That's it.
How's it not a plot?
There's not a plot. Strong guy shows up. He beats the other guy. Okay, then another stronger guy comes, beats him. He goes and trains for a little bit, comes back and beats that strong guy.
That's called a plot, my friend.
That's not a plot, man. Okay, let me put it this way. It does not have a good plot. It does have a plot, yes. However, the plot is ass.
Well, I got a question about anime in general.
Okay.
Well, like, to start off with, what did you start off with as your first anime? Like, what got you into it at least, and got you interested in anime?
Dragon Ball Z.
No, it was Dragon Ball Z?
No, and the reason why is because that was all that was really on, like on Tsunami and stuff, on cartoons that were growing up. Like, it was always Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I've seen it all the time.
Right, so as I got older, my, how should I put this? My anime palette expanded, okay? So I went from Dragon Ball Z to more. I started watching Naruto. Naruto's a really dope anime. So that was your
second one? The greatest anime.
I used to get that and Avatar mixed up.
Wow. So Avatar, I wouldn't even consider Avatar an anime.
No, that's
because it's a cartoon. You know what I'm saying?
It
anime typically. It
debuted on Nickelodeon,
so they have manga and things like that. Yeah. So Avatar, but Avatar is dope. Don't get me wrong, I love Avatar.
You ever seen Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, yeah. So that's an anime.
That joint was fire.
That shit is dope. Yeah. Rurouni Kenshin is one of the goats, and that was one of the original animes I saw too. Because I was on Toonami.
I think too,
like 11:30 at night.
Yeah. What's going on with anime nowadays too is kind of the same thing that's going on with like with music, you can say, so to speak. Because you have like all the new animes that's coming out, but like a lot of the old heads are like kind of like, nah, that's a garbage anime. Like back in my day, Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, bruh.
I hate when people use Dragon Ball Z as like the cornerstone of anime for comparison.
And it's not.
I'm like, it's not that good.
No, I feel like
is that a
Dragon Ball Z
though?
is classic. Bro.
It might. I think so that is what it is. I think that is what it is.
I feel like that gravitates more to American.
I mean, that was like in middle school, like the men's soap opera, like
yeah, bro. Like
that was the most drama.
I was in a debate the other day when this old head on Facebook, he was saying like, I don't feel like Attack on Titan is top 10 anime period.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm just like, yeah, I don't know.
It's Teen Titans or some of it.
Teen Titans is not an anime; it's a cartoon.
That's a
So any of the anything that has a comic book is English and American is typically a cartoon. Anime they have what's called a manga, which is basically a Japanese version of a comic book, but they all originated in Japan. So that's what's an anime. I don't even know, does anime really translate to anything?
So if you're from China, it can't be an anime.
Anime is technically an animation.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it like
with
that.
the Japanese culture.
But yeah, that's the thing is where it originally comes from is Japan.
Right.
And I think it can be Chinese. I've never seen a Chinese anime personally, but
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
they do have some. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. They're all very creative minds. Some more so than others.
I feel like you can kind of compare it to like say if you want to get like fish and chips in America, it's like, all right, that's cool.
You gotta say fish and chips with an accent though.
No, I'm not even gonna try to
just try it.
No,
just try it.
It's gonna be bad.
Fish and chips.
But if you want to get the original fish and chips.
You would have to go to where it came from.
Britain, you would say the best fish and chips are in Europe, but you can also get them in other places and they can still be all right.
Right.
And that's kind of
except
that probably can fit in with
except Busch Gardens.
Yeah, don't get nothing from Busch Gardens.
Hell nah.
Busch Gardens is my slave job.
Man, that be smelling good. Chicken,
that smell good.
Yeah, Busch smells good. They get you with the smell, but
it's like trusting
the taste.
A girl with a nice smile and fat ass.
That's amateur cooking.
Now you got a kid, and you got prenups and all that.
Exactly.
Stuff
out here looking stupid.
Oh my god.
It's a bad situation, man. So don't get a Busch
Gardens. What happened to y'all at Busch? Had some great times,
bro.
When I worked at Busch,
I got fired from Busch.
I did 16-hour days.
Yes, bro.
Well, I was trying to make a lot of money.
Was you a supervisor?
No.
Oh, see, I was a supervisor doing that.
I was working at you know where the Talking Tree is?
Yeah, Ireland.
Dude, I was at the grill outside.
Shout out to Amber.
The worst.
Oh yeah, grill. Oh yeah, the Talking Tree Grill. With the turkey legs and the shrimp and all that.
The worst
place
to work.
And I know they had you out there in the summertime too. Tweet.
That's where the most money.
Oh yeah,
that's where you get the hours.
Where was you at?
Chilling. I was at Water Country.
Oh, they did send me to Water Country too. I was making the funnel cake.
So I
love that though.
I never got to work at Water Country.
Nah, me either.
They sent me there.
I would tell them that I'm not going.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I worked at Busch for like 3 months and they fired me. So.
Yeah, what'd you get fired for? You were still.
I feel like that's the best place to get fired.
So I gotta tell this
story.
So what happened was I worked on the Sky Ride. And the Sky Ride is that little air transport that goes from like Germany to Europe to France, right?
How you get fired from that?
Just hear me out. All right. So in the Sky Ride, you gotta open the cabin door, you let the people in, you close it, you lock it with your key, and then you send it out, right?
You left it open.
Damn, dog, you gonna let me tell the story?
All right, no, go ahead, my bad.
So I'm sending cabins out, right? And then we get a call to the station. They're like, "Hey, is Sherman on station? Or who was on?" It's not catch because they have names for positions, right? So whatever my position was, they're like, "Who's on that position?"
He was foul.
And they were like, "Sherman was." And they're like, "Okay, can you pull him off? Or can we talk to him?" I went and talked to him. They were like, "Hey, you sent the cabin out with the door open. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that I greeted somebody, put them in the cabin with the door wide open, and sent it out and let them
You
go?
talking about that little skyline thing?
Yeah. I was like, you gonna lost your goddamn mind if you think
I don't
didn't.
even think the rides operate while the door is open. Like,
Oh no, they will. If the door is open, it'll operate. The only thing that stops the ride is it's got a laser sensor and the little drop down, and if you trip it, it'll close the ride down.
Right.
So we used to trip that junk by accident though. Like we would like be working in the spot before we send someone out, and we would like trip it with our foot just so we could like get some downtime and
First
chill.
of all, how old was you when you were looking over that ride?
16.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
right
park ride
Why you say
operators.
that?
You got a kid.
Yeah.
You're supposed to strap you in.
Bush
Slave
Slave 15-year-old.
But nothing was stopped. So if you're in the ride, you can close the door. It's just a door that you close, and then you lock it for reassurance.
But I feel what you're saying though. You got these kids with these people's lives in their hands. Like
when they said you left it open, was the door like swinging open while they were going?
That's what I'm saying. Like I would have noticed that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would have noticed.
So
that
it's just a lock. You're just turning it. Like it's not no key or nothing, right?
They had a hidden agenda on you, bro.
Ooh. Oh my god, I wish I had a camera so I could show these kicks, dog.
Huh?
Oh my god.
Shut up.
Yeah, Bush got hidden agendas.
Yeah,
They want you gone, they gonna get you gone.
Yeah, nah, bro. I was.
They got so many applications.
I went to the office. He was like, "All right, so they said you sent the cabin." I was like, "Yeah, apparently, allegedly." And he was like, "Okay, well, if you want to appeal, you can appeal." I was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah,
If you were working at
Honestly,
Busch
is the best place
and you
to get
didn't
fired,
steal a lot
man.
of games,
Seriously.
you're a stand-up guy.
Did you steal, Eric?
I never worked the games in Busch Gardens.
I work games.
Did you
and
steal?
Culinary.
No.
Oh,
I'm a
and
stand-up
culinary.
Yeah,
Starting
I worked at Busch twice.
Starting to sweat.
I worked at Busch twice. Once when I
Sweat a little
was probably about 16, 17.
Yeah,
And then I went back when I was 23 as a supervisor in culinary.
mm-hmm.
But my first thing at Busch, I did not. Yeah, that shit was not the business.
So when they hired you at 23, you think was because of like the experience? Because you childish motherfuckers.
Yeah, I am.
So I know it won't.
But see, the thing with me, I sell the fuck out of an interview, so it's like,
Okay.
Well,
I know how animated you was.
He's
so
a professional interviewer.
Yeah, like, and my fiance, well, we weren't engaged then, but
Mm-hmm.
she was working there, so she put in a good word for them to bring me back.
Okay.
But my second stint working at Busch, I definitely liked it way better than my first because I met some dope people, and even though I left Busch, we still friends now.
That's good.
Actually,
You
a lot of
Busch?
them, Busch. But a lot of them, they helped like with my photography a lot. Like they sat back and just listened to me rant about ideas when I couldn't really shoot as much as I wanted to because I was at Busch for 24 hours a goddamn day. So so they would just listen to me. Like, and sometimes that's all you need is somebody just to listen to the ideas.
That's why I tell people all the time, bro. Because like if you really think about it, right, all the ideas that people have, all the feelings that people have that they're nervous to talk about, they won't talk about because they're scared of judgment. They're scared of somebody, rebutting. So like when people talk, I'll sit there and I'll listen. I don't try and interrupt them. I don't try and interject. I just listen because sometimes that's all people need you for.
Just to
listen,
talk, just to
what I'm saying?
flow.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody.
I learned that from women.
Hitler said the same thing.
Seriously.
Wow.
What? What is the correlation
I missed
between
that.
Hitler
I
and
don't know where that
just
came
listen.
from.
He ain't listen to nobody.
Don't need to be heard.
You said you just wanted to be heard?
No, I said certain people's ideas don't need to be heard.
Well, yeah.
Maybe
I mean, I
somebody
don't think
shouldn't
anybody
listen
sat
to
there
that.
and listened to Hitler say how he wanted to eradicate the Jews and make the perfect race and all
A
that.
lot of motherfuckers
He
listen.
might have.
Well, yeah, that was after he got voted in power. They had no choice. It was like, oh shit.
That's true though.
I mean,
They was
Somebody
against
listen to
them.
him.
They was on the wrong
It's
side.
like it's like us
bad
with Trump.
side
We just
to be
gotta take
on.
it. We
Yeah,
just gotta
pretty
take
much.
it.
Bro,
If you say anything, we just gotta
with
take
Trump,
it.
I forget that we even have a president. Like, I really
Me too.
I really
I
forgot.
kind of do though.
Like-
I kind of know what you mean. by
Sometimes
that.
I'd be like, is Obama still president? Like, because I don't.
My thing is though, Trump can
I
look
saw
back at
Obama's
his life
sticker
and be like,
yesterday.
I did it
Yeah,
all.
like,
The only thing
yeah,
I
like-
didn't do was go to the NBA.
Right, pretty much. He might do that. Like, you just never
Yeah,
know.
bro. He might just own
mean,
a
he bounced
team.
it.
Make a
So
wish
he might-
foundation. He
Yo,
can
Donald
get in
Trump's
there.
like 6'4".
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, he got a big
He
dude.
tall.
He got a big dude.
Oh, he got hands.
He got small
He
hands.
might.
He got
I
whopper
don't know.
hands.
He part Russian
He
or
played
something.
basketball.
Nah. Hey, y'all remember the Whopper hands commercial? When the dude had small hands?
Oh,
trying to eat the Whopper.
Yeah, I do remember
He said,
that.
You got Whopper hand problems. I
Y'all
forgot that
seen
whole
the,
spiel.
y'all
I
seen the
forgot the whole
Slingers
thing, too.
commercial?
No.
Which one?
So it's like something called Slingers. It's something on TV.
Swingers.
And so,
Swingers.
Slingers.
Oh.
But that's the point. So
So
it's
you
two
watching
couples, right? And they're like, "You guys want a slinger?" And the dude and the husband's
That
like,
sound
"Oh yeah, I'm with it." So they all sit on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
And the husband started like taking his shirt off, and then they turned on Slingers on the TV.
Oh,
and
the
like,
cable joint.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was like, oh,
This is
I'm
that
weak.
kind of party. Never.
I'm weak. That's
My
crazy.
apologies.
I was getting hot. That's
I
all.
missed the dilly dilly though.
The what?
Bud Light.
Oh yeah, the Dilly Dilly commercial.
Dilly dilly.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
that.
bro.
Damn,
Yeah,
I'm
you
surprised you don't
Post
know about
Malone?
Dilly Dilly.
That's Post Malone.
I know Post Malone. He's like the spearhead for Bud Light.
Is he?
He's always
I didn't know that.
He got commercials with Bud Light. He always drinking a Bud Light.
He has nothing to. So you didn't see this whole
He's like the
commercial
epitome
where
of
they're
like-
like,
like a
the
hood
whole
red white
series.
guy.
Did you even watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So you didn't see
Which one?
the one where they're
The most
the last
recent one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
He said, "Did
them
you watch the
ones-
Super Bowl? Like they haven't
mean,
been
yeah,
like
you're right,
fucking
you're right.
50." Like,
You're right.
I'm sorry. Did you watch the first Super Bowl, Sherman?
no, I wasn't born
Okay.
there.
So
I was
since
like,
we know you didn't, we clarify.
How long?
that.
How long? All right, I'm 24, right?
Mhm.
How many Super Bowls have been out since I've been alive? 24. So when you say Super Bowl, it's kind of arbitrary. I could have been like, oh, well,
Alright.
2 years ago.
You're right. It could
Because
have been
Dilly
90,
Dilly,
you know.
because they have all kinds of Super Bowl commercials, dog. I don't know which one.
Could have been 2001. You're right.
You made a good
Yep, great.
I'm gonna have to put a mad meter in this one. I gotta put it in this one, dog.
We gotta be careful because he the editor.
I'm gonna get myself because I had a couple mess ups this one, so I might have a few bloopers in here.
I might have to sit in the background while you editing
Nah,
real
you
quick.
not. I'm
I
a
will
you.
say though, while we're joking around, you give some real ass answers.
Oh yeah, nah,
Like,
that's
he
all I know.
Gives, he
That's
gives
all I
up
know.
jewels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Like if he was a rapper, he really telling you the
Bro,
the
what's
whole
crazy
story.
is I actually had a song. Like I did a song. Like,
Hey, bro,
actually.
can you play it for the podcast? The podcast exclusive before you get famous and blow up.
No, I'm not. I
You
will
don't
never
have
get.
to.
I never get famous for the song.
Rondo.
Well, no, I mean just
Rondo.
for photographer.
Yeah,
I can
nah.
be like, yeah,
I
we
mean,
had
said
it first.
photography.
Yeah,
That's
nah. I mean, we can. I mean,
We can get a
I got it. I got it.
For
On
real?
computer.
Freestyle, bro.
Send me that file.
Nah, hell no. I never freestyle. I'll send
I'm
you.
gonna put it as the outro song.
Yeah,
for the
so yeah,
video.
do that. Do that. I love my song.
What is the intro?
It's off the Shiino
So are
on
you
the
gonna
track.
use the watery jump for the intro or?
Come on, dog.
Sorry.
You gonna call me on the podcast? You gonna have me give out my
I thought
jewels?
we was just.
It's supposed to be a surprise.
I thought this
Well,
was the interim. That's
No,
getting
no. It's
edited.
gonna be a surprise. They're gonna see it anyway. They're gonna see
Exactly
it
in the
anyway. They're gonna see it first, and then they're gonna see this part. But
I'm
That's
weak,
hilarious.
yo. I'm weak.
never tell Eric a secret.
But yeah,
Nah,
nah.
play.
Yo, I'm weak.
But yeah, so so let's talk about the NBA, dog. I try. We talk about the NBA every time, man.
I'm
but-
out of touch this week, man.
I'm not.
You gotta
I'm
touch,
out of touch this
bro.
week.
Nah,
Come on,
either.
Derrick Rose 50 points.
Okay,
I
did
know
see
you're not out of
that.
touch with
I
that.
did see that.
I know you're not out of touch with that.
It made me emotional
Saw the
too
highlights.
because I was
yes,
like,
man.
how long have you been fighting for that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And listen,
And sometimes in life, you
Bro.
work so hard and you only get this much.
do you
to show
know?
for it.
Do you know how bad I wanted Derrick Rose to just stay on Cleveland last year and possibly just win a ring just so he could say he got one?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Just so he could say he got one.
You know how bad.
I'm sorry, that was
randomly,
one
you
of
know how
those-
bad I wish Michael Vick had came back and got a ring with the
Yeah,
Eagles.
of course.
That would have been
Yeah,
that
that
would have
been
been good.
Of
That would have been
course.
dope. But
Greatest
nah, it's,
sports
But
comeback
I-
in history if he had been.
Derrick Rose was one of those people that I definitely felt really bad for to see what happened to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Because he was one of my favorite
Would y'all-
players when he first started coming out with
Yeah,
the
Of
ball.
course. Would y'all
And
go as far
he
as to
was
say that
dominating.
Derrick Rose was Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook?
Yes.
I would say that.
I would-
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of people would disagree
how
with that.
explosive
But
that
don't
player
see
I don't
how.
disagree with that. How should I put
You
it?
sound like you disagree with it.
No, I don't disagree with it because it's definitely
But-
it's definitely similar, but I felt like Derrick Rose was a little bit more impactful.
Yeah, easily.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
He's,
that's-
he
he's
was
more
better-
of a
on the
willing
same page
passer.
with that.
He's a better
then.
system player than
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook.
definitely.
As long as we're on the same page, I
Russell-
felt like
Russell,
Derrick
Russell,
Rose.
Russell Westbrook got one system, his.
Yeah.
His.
Exactly.
Derrick Rose was definitely changing a lot. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
starting
How
to
y'all
change
feel
a lot
about
of
the
things at
Lakers
that
and
time.
the Rockets right now?
The Lakers and the Rockets. I
Well,
feel like the Lakers
yeah.
expected.
Here we go.
I
Yeah,
expected the Lakers
agreed.
not to be doing that good.
Exactly.
Because when you add LeBron to a bad team,
He still got to fill it out.
Transition.
Right.
You know what I'm
Still
saying?
gotta
They
And it's
trying
such a weird team too.
Yeah, because a lot of people,
Lance Stevenson.
yeah, a lot of people forget the year that Cleveland, LeBron went back in the first year. Cleveland went 0-6 before they got their first W.
that's true.
So he had, it's still
And he
filling
didn't
out.
get a title with Well, I didn't expect him to get a title this year anyway. So that ain't.
Are you talking about LeBron?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to get a ring with the Lakers first year. But
Nah,
he
I don't expect him to
do
get
that.
one the first 2 years.
People give LeBron. I don't want to say too much credit because he's the best player in basketball. I absolutely agree, but I feel like they give him too much credit in the sense they think basketball is a one-person sport.
But basketball is a sport where you can dominate more as one person. Like football,
Right.
If you don't have the offensive line, you could be Tom Brady.
But I feel like
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with what you're saying, but then at the same time, you have examples of how you can have a great team and still not win a championship with. I mean, I'm not gonna say. Nah, I am gonna say it. Cleveland with Kyrie and Kevin Love and LeBron James, that could have been a great team, but it just the chemistry just wasn't there like it was supposed to be due to. I feel like Kevin Love, every time the chemistry started, Kevin Love would get hurt. So then they had to learn how to play without him.
Kevin Love,
Kevin Love. To me, Kevin Love was.
He was a shell himself in Cleveland.
Yeah,
he couldn't do him in Cleveland.
Kevin Soft.
He couldn't do him but then you got Golden State, who are a team that are willing to. Kevin Durant is willing to say, "I'll only drop 10 tonight."
Look,
if Steph don't drop 50.
I don't want to hear all this generosity from Golden State.
Hey, hold on.
Willing to do a lot.
See, you ain't let me finish. Because I hate Golden State. Every player on the team.
Well, I love them. So
even before they got Golden State.
I like Clay and KD.
I used to like.
You don't like Steph?
I used to like. Let me tell you
The
why.
only reason I don't like Steph is because I love Aisha
Let me
Curry.
hear this.
I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't like Steph. This is why I don't like Steph.
Okay.
Because Steph can be as petty as possible. Steph could go and throw okay, LeBron did this. He did the Halloween party with the 3-1 or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Got all the ridicule in the world.
Yeah.
These niggas can have a dance party calling LeBron a bitch and everybody. Well, Stephen Curry earned that. How? They started the petty.
He's the puppy dog of the NBA.
Well,
He
he kind of has that nice boy.
It's because
narrative towards him.
he's Christian. He's got a good family. He has no scandal.
That's how Christians act.
So he's like the more
This how Christians act.
perfect LeBron James.
And now
That's how
they,
Christians act.
and now they're trying
You
to
right. I ain't even gonna get on that topic.
But that's the thing.
Now they're
I
trying
feel
to
like
expose
everybody
Chris
has
Paul.
What you mean?
Because everybody thinks Chris Paul is the nicest guy.
That's
hell no. Chris Paul's an
Steph
asshole.
Curry done threw his mouthpiece at the audience like 4 times.
commercial and stuff.
Like, that's ridiculous. You can take your whole mouthpiece out and throw it at somebody at the audience.
I feel like sometimes he almost like wants that image now. It's like it's too
The bad
good.
boy image?
A little bit. Like,
Yeah, I feel that.
He does put a little edge, like when he went out and scored 51, he did a little Jordan shrug, you know what I'm saying? So he get in his bag sometimes. He feel himself, but I mean
that's normal in competitive sports.
Yeah, but
I feel like it doesn't work though.
Hold everybody to the same
entertainment,
standard.
if you
Hold
come
everybody
out
to
the
the
good
same
guy,
standard.
Yeah, but
you
think
can never
about that
transition to
anywhere.
the bad guy. The only
Yeah.
guy who did that seamlessly was Chris Brown, and we all know why. Like Chris
Brown
Brown went
a nigga,
from
Chris Brown a
he's
nigga.
such a nice guy too.
I would say Kevin
Brown.
Durant
Well,
did.
because he took it to the next.
Kevin Durant's the bad guy.
Yeah,
Everybody hate Kevin Durant, and he
but
doing
he's still a
great.
hoe.
You're right, Kevin Durant.
He's still a
definitely.
hoe.
He's still a hoe.
I like
I
Kevin.
like KD, man.
I don't.
I think offensively he's better than LeBron.
I don't care for
Offensively, I agree. He is
Absolutely.
better than
He's
LeBron.
more efficient.
He's
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
more efficient.
Like he creates his own shot.
But see,
and he
my
doesn't
thing with
need a
LeBron-
lot of like.
Yeah.
He doesn't
But-
have to dribble the ball a lot to do it.
Well, obviously, with the damn Monstars on his side, he don't have to do nothing.
Not even
but-
that. He
Really?
can get
Nah,
he can
even
get all the
with
way across the
OKC,
court in
he
4
can-
steps. Like
Nah,
Yeah, like-
okay,
and he got
but
the
OKC, Kevin Durant, LeBron, when they played against each other, LeBron can zoom in on KD and KD solely. He can't do that with Golden State.
he can't. No,
It's a little bit
He
harder.
can't do that with Golden
It's way
State.
more
Because
complex.
who else the points are gonna go for him? Like,
You got
no,
the
the only
fourth
reason I
best
say that-
player on the team
hold
putting
on.
up 50 something.
the only reason 4th best, Klay Thompson.
Yeah, I say Clay's fourth.
Who's 3rd? Don't say Draymond.
Why he got his hand
Draymond-
pointed? Why he
Nah,
got
I
his
didn't
hand
say
pointed
Draymond.
at you like this?
Draymond is
KD,
not.
Steph.
It's KD,
Yeah, nah, Klay.
Steph, and then Klay.
Yeah, Klay.
Then Draymond. Draymond's a 4th option. And
But would you say he's not the most valuable?
Clay.
No,
you talking about
Draymond's
Draymond?
more
I would say.
Nah.
I would say the most valuable
Klay.
is Steph.
I'll say the most valuable.
most valuable definitely is Steph. But
Most
who's more
valuable
valuable
is-
as far as Clay Or like, if you take one of them
so
out,
let me.
If you take Steph Curry off of the Warriors right
we
now,
know Steph is number one. We're saying
no. Like, listen. You take Steph Curry off the Golden State right now, they still win the championship this year. True or false?
I don't know that.
You don't think so?
Yeah,
True. Who gonna beat him?
True.
Who gonna beat him?
I don't know.
Where you gonna put Steph?
I'm just saying, if he go anywhere,
so you take him out.
Okay.
Right? So
if he was on another team,
the only reason I say that is because right now Steph Curry is leading the league in points, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage.
I mean, we only 7 games in though. So.
I understand that, but
I'm just saying.
just keep it. No, it's actually 9 games.
Let's say
Right.
Steph goes to like
be a top 5 at the end of the season.
Yeah,
I think
course.
if he keeps this up, which again is a big if, he will be MVP this year.
I'm
There's no
calling
question
now
about it.
James Harden
Oh,
chokes in the
Steph?
playoffs.
Steph was one of my picks.
That's an
too.
easy call. James Harden does not show up in the playoffs at all.
Nah.
And what happened to what's my man name? John Wall?
You keep bringing up
John Wall, he's still there. He just
Is he?
he just in a situation where he needs to get up out of Washington, bro.
I
Is that
agree.
what it is?
That's
He need to get out of
I
Washington.
would love to see it. I don't know what's gonna happen.
He
but
need
I
to get
would
out of
love to see
Washington.
that.
AD need to get out of New Orleans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Greek Freak need to get out of Milwaukee.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
probably
and
the
yeah,
thing.
what's the other dude name that was rookie last year that carried him with the Pacers?
I don't think he's a rookie. You talking about Oladipo?
Last year he was a rookie. He carried the. Was it the Pacers?
Man, I'm about to say
No,
Oladipo
wasn't
was
it?
the nigga.
No, it
that
was
carried-
the Jazz.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
He
that's
nice.
that's been said. He should have won number 1 in the pick, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
whatever, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't kept.
But Jason
up with
Tatum is like that too, though.
it. I don't keep up with all the smaller market teams as much.
But like I keep trying to tell people,
Unless they have a star.
yo, come on, y'all.
This is a great episode.
It is.
I try to tell people though, Jason Tatum. I feel like you give Jason Tatum 2 more years, he'll be.
Yo, that's
He'll be
what I
like
was
that.
telling them.
Jason Tatum.
No,
2
you was
more
telling
years.
us that Jason Tatum was gonna be MVP.
Yeah.
It'd be dope.
No, he was my
He threw-
sneak.
he
He
threw
was
out
my
one of
sneak,
those,
yeah,
like-
MVP.
One of those like
I feel like as of right now,
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is more detrimental to Boston than even Kyrie is. Like I feel like Jason, as of right now, Jason Tatum is what makes Boston go right now.
Oh, I thought you said it was like in a bad way.
You said he was
No.
detrimental, so I thought you meant he was bad for the team.
Meaning, like if something was to happen to Jason Tatum,
It would be detrimental.
it would be
I got
detrimental
you.
to the
I got you.
team. Versus if Kyrie was hurt, like look
because
what they
they
did
had
last
to
year.
learn how to function as a team. without him.
And they were a better
Yeah.
team without him. Actually,
I think Gordon Hayward's gonna get him out of there.
Yeah, they're gonna trade him. They're gonna trade him.
I think so too.
They're gonna
Yeah.
trade Gordon Hayward.
I mean, Gordon Hayward.
He's gonna end up in LA.
He's not going. I don't know.
LA
He's
gonna
not,
make
he's
some power
definitely not
moves.
what he used
I'm
to
telling
be.
everybody this right now. LA gonna make some power moves before All-Star break.
Nah,
That's
I
the
think-
only reason
I
why
think
they brought
I
all
think
them
their
pieces.
major moves
What's
are coming in the
what's
offseason.
Alonzo's Ball's future, yo?
Oh, that's a good question.
Listen, man.
That's a good question.
I want Lonzo to be
I
great,
can't
but I just don't
guess.
see it. I just don't see
I
it.
don't see
I
it
don't see it
now.
either.
I don't
At
see
first,
it.
no,
Nothing
I'm not
lights
gonna
the
lie.
flame for him.
At the beginning,
Nothing excites him.
I did
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah,
I saw
seen
something.
flashes.
I saw
seen
something.
flashes.
Exactly. I saw something. Now I don't see it.
Yeah,
That's
I
how.
don't
That's
see
how I
it.
feel about it. I don't see it.
I wanted LeBron to go to Philly so bad, but I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I just
I
wanted him to
didn't,
play.
right?
I wanted to see him play with Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons is gonna be the next him anyway. So
Yeah,
it's like
that's why I
I
tell
wanted to
everybody
see
that.
that.
So you do think Ben Simmons is gonna get a shot?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Ben Simmons is going to be the
He's
next
getting
LeBron
trained
James,
with-
but he needs
yeah,
to.
he's
He just
training
needs to
with-
develop a shot,
he training with everybody boy Kobe with his
and that's
shots.
it.
so-
Actually, that's
Yeah,
it. All he
yeah,
needs is a
that's
shot
Nah,
Yeah.
Jason Tatum got
and a little bit
Kobe.
better defense. Too.
Nah, they both got Kobe.
Yeah,
Ben
what
Simmons
they
got
say.
Kobe too. Ben Simmons had Kobe first, actually.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but Jason Tatum, that's that nigga though. I don't like light skinned niggas, but he cool.
Yeah, you that nigga.
He invited to the cookout.
Y'all wild.
He invited to the cookout.
He invited to the cookout.
Y'all doing the most.
I don't talk football though because my team sucks. So.
Yeah, so
we
yeah.
ain't gonna.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we're
We're not talking about
You
football.
don't even know what my
All right.
team
You a
is.
Falcons fan, bro?
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
you a Ravens fan?
You know it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
we better than y'all though,
We
but but we suck too. And we play y'all this year actually.
Dang.
I think we play next week actually. If it ain't next week, it's not this week
I
after
don't know.
next.
The only thing that matters is that you honest, man. As long as you, at least you know, you got fans.
Who's your
that know
squad? The
stuff.
Oh, nah.
Patriots.
Cowboys.
Who's doing
Oh.
what?
Why
Y'all
you-
will
What was
always be
the?
trash.
Oh, you said his. You had someone's
And
team.
his don't fluctuate, so it's just like you always gonna be in.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
What's his
suck.
name?
Who's your
Don't got
team?
one.
He a
Atlanta.
Falcons fan.
Oh, Atlanta.
Let's choke.
How many years we gonna go with that? Did you get the? When was the last time you had?
They still talking about the Warriors 3-1.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Have the Cowboys been to a Super Bowl in your lifetime?
Nah, that's what about the play.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
How old were you?
I was a kid, obviously.
How old were you?
Were you a kid? I don't think you were born.
I was a kid.
How old
real? It was
were
like
you?
90 I was
No,
born
you were an
94.
infant.
I think the last time they
You were
was
born in 94.
I couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't tell
Bro,
you.
you was 1 year old.
It doesn't matter, man. I answered your question. They won in my lifetime.
True.
You've been choking for 23 years.
That's fine.
That's a good point.
Oh,
When's the last time y'all saw? When's the last time y'all saw the Super Bowl aside from last year?
98.
98. Okay.
Before you, I mean, after you.
And y'all was still choking for a pretty
We
equivalent
did
amount
not
of time.
choke in that game.
Y'all
It was a
just
good
lost.
game.
Y'all
We
just
just
lost.
lost.
No, it wasn't. Y'all choked
No, we did not. We
For-
had
against the
Lamar
Patriots?
Anderson. What?
against the Patriots.
Nah, he's talking about
yeah.
98.
Oh no,
I'm
I'm not talking about
98.
98. I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
We lost to like John Elway. Like,
Hey, I will
For
say,
for
my
anybody
team,
watching the podcast, this is how football talk goes.
yeah, and I would just say my team is undefeated.
you Cowboys
in the Super Bowl.
fans,
I just wanna
you are
put
the
that out
most
there.
delusional
I'm just
fans
saying.
in the country.
Here it goes.
No matter what happens, the whole team could fall off a bridge. Y'all going to Super Bowl next year. I just don't get it. Like, the logic.
Yo, no bullshit, though. You
Dak
right.
Prescott could throw 6 picks next week.
Hey, we gonna win. though.
So,
man,
so
he
Eric,
the right
let
man.
me
He the
backtrack
man
real
for
quick.
the league.
Let me
Got
backtrack.
everything.
When did I say that he was going to Super Bowl ever? Or
I
you
said
just
Not
Cowboys
you, not you.
fans.
Just
Okay,
Cowboys
yeah.
fans in general.
Don't lump me with them.
Just-
I'm not them.
It
Cowboys
just be
fans. I'm a
ridiculous.
Cowboys fan.
Like,
I will give Sherm that he is a logical sports.
I don't
fan.
go up there and talk shit like, oh, the Cowboys.
Ezekiel
gonna be
Elliott
up.
could quit today. Still going to Super Bowl. Like, what are you talking about?
Nah, I'm realistic. Okay,
He is.
I
He
look
is.
at things
I'll give him
objectively.
that. I'll give him that.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it like Matt Ryan might not be the guy to get us the ring.
Shit, Joe Flacco damn sure ain't the guy to get us one.
Yeah, he
He
got
got
you
us
one,
one,
yeah.
but it was the defense that got us there. Like,
But like they're in that class, and I'm like,
yeah, I mean, because people was like, no, Joe Flacco got you the ring. How when we didn't score a single touchdown in the second half?
Matt Ryan had that good season.
How?
But
Yeah, I thought
and then he's got
that was
some
y'all
of the
chance.
best receivers ever. I mean, if you want to count the tight end position
Yeah,
as well.
That was y'all chance. Last year was definitely.
You know what though? If Tony
goes,
Gonzalez had stayed another year,
yeah, y'all might have.
and
got
then
that.
Julio had came on with him,
Yeah, y'all might have got that.
that would have been it.
I was so
Matt Ryan, I
disappointed
could have
when
passed
lost
it that season. We could have got to the Super Bowl.
I hate the Patriots. So
But I do
anytime
want
they win,
Phillip
it's
Rivers.
disgusting.
I do want Phillip
Yeah.
Rivers to get a ring, man. He deserves it.
I mean, he alright.
Nah, he ain't all right, man. He Hall of Fame
I mean, maybe.
on a terrible team.
You know who I like? I like that kid in Kansas City.
I can't wait to see when Marvin Lewis gonna get fired.
Whatever their quarterback name is, I don't know his name. Little light skinned kid.
Who? What team?
Kansas?
Kansas City. The Chiefs.
Kaepernick 2.0?
Mahomes.
Yeah, Holmes. Yeah,
Yeah.
He like that. I ain't gonna say he like that.
He like
I'm
that.
gonna say he like that,
He
but
like that.
it's just his first year in. But for right now, he's like that.
So far, he looks like a good.
He's
a good
crazy.
prospect.
They
You know that
10-1,
Marvin Lewis
9-1?
has been the coach for the Cincinnati Bengals for it's
Yeah,
either 15 or 16
and they ain't
seasons,
fired him yet.
and they've never won a single playoff game.
No. Well, they last year.
He probably
last
own
year
a
they
lot
won
of.
one.
He probably
Oh,
own a
sorry.
lot of that team.
That's their first one though. But
He got to.
yeah.
He got to own a lot of that team. That's the only reason they're keeping him around.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
you
something.
owe like 60%,
Something.
so we're just gonna keep you around.
He know the secrets.
Oh shoot, they just fired.
Did y'all see the Rams going?
I need to
undefeated
fire
this
y'all
year?
coach.
I was- That's the thing I like about the NFL is how dynamic it is because every year you have different teams competing because a lot can change with football. You
I
know,
just see-
if your
I
O line
see
gets
the-
hurt, your D line.
To me, it's the ultimate team sport. There's no other sport, in my
Yeah, nah,
opinion,
you're
that
right.
is more team based than football.
absolutely because you have so many
Yeah.
working parts
Exactly.
that will determine whether or not you win or lose.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And
you're right.
if you take any part, like people say offensive line, yeah, don't get me wrong, we all like to big them up because they don't get their share. But for instance, if you don't have receivers and they know you running, if you don't have a running back and they know you passing,
Right.
like it's crazy.
And that's
like,
the problem
any
with the
position,
Ravens. That's the problem with the
linebackers,
Ravens right
you
now.
taking away the middle of the field.
Yeah, we don't
Like,
have a dynamic
it's
running
crazy.
back, so it's like they know 9 times out of 10 it's either play action or he's throwing the ball
Yep.
down the field. Like,
But boy, see Dak. That's why Dak looked so good that first year because Ezekiel Elliott was running the ball so nasty that play action was working every time.
Right, because they was expecting the run.
and that's
He
what's
would hit
going.
him with
That's
it.
what's going on with Kansas City and the Rams right now because their run game is so. Man, first of all, Kansas City, that damn wide receiver they got, Hunt. Anytime that nigga catch the ball, it's a touchdown. Bro.
Kareem Hunt is a running back.
But they run him as wide
Oh, yeah,
receiver
yeah,
at
yeah.
times too,
Kinda
because that
like,
nigga so damn fast. Like, soon as that nigga touch the ball, it's a touchdown threat. Like,
That's why I want Le'Veon Bell to come back.
fuck
Man.
that
I know it's been mad long.
Yeah,
like
bro.
I don't
Any-
hate him
any
for
Steeler.
I don't hate him for fighting for his money. But like, I just hate the fact that
I just hate him because
he wasted his legacy in the sense you can't get the games back.
You're right.
Yeah.
And if you get out of like, you might be in shape, but if you get out of the like everything has an art to it. Almost like if you get out of that loop, it takes a second to get back. Like if he stopped taking pictures for 6 months,
right,
he gonna be like, oh snap, well, I'm not even in the mix right now. You know what I'm saying?
And that game he come back on, it ain't no slouch game.
I feel like
they come back against us.
All right, though.
I mean, there's gonna be a little bit of rust knockout, but you don't feel like it's like riding a bike. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that once you do it,
I mean, I feel like
not after a certain age. I feel like
you
when you hit 29, 30, and you stop doing it. That's when that joint hit.
Right, but you're still doing the conditioning though. You know what I'm saying? Sure. That's what really matters.
But it ain't the same because that impact is nowhere near the same. Yeah. And the way you twist your body around when you you're trying to step over this guy, you're stiffing this guy, but this guy hits you and you kind of like that. Like you can't really.
Yeah. I agree.
And if you sit. And
welcome back to the mic.
I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Oh, I forgot. So I went to announce the winner of the giveaway for the Amazon Fire Stick. It is not you, Eric. It is not you, Ant. It is not you.
You didn't know what I was
doing. I think it was me. I didn't apply.
You did? No, you did. You shared on Facebook.
Oh shit! I didn't know that's how that worked.
Yeah, no. If you share anything, and you can come and you can enter in multiple times.
Play like you ain't applied.
I ain't know.
You applied to be on the show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's like, nah, I ain't had nothing to do with that. He's trying to play. He's trying to play home.
Right.
But Sherm applied for it too, though.
I did not. Nah, anybody that participates in the podcast, I don't count. Even though y'all share it, but So the winner is Orlando Hopkins. So we'll be contacting him.
But
right
you
after
expect
the podcast
me to view it though.
And once we contact him, we're gonna be shipping that through Amazon Prime. We'll be there in 2 days. So expect that probably around Saturday or Sunday. He'll be there this weekend. So congratulations. There's gonna be another giveaway this week, and this week is gonna be an Amazon Echo Dot. So if you want to get into
it, I'm finna get in this. I need that.
That's the sad part. You can.
I need that.
So if for anybody who wants to get introduced into the smart home world, you know what I'm saying, I got you covered.
Yeah, I need.
Yeah, that's a dope pickup for sure.
I mean, smart homes are dope until the power goes out. Then.
Oh yeah, Sharon, you was out
you
here
need
going
a
through
generator.
it. When Sharon power went out, this nigga was going through it in here, boy.
Man.
He was coming at me all types of crazy. I ain't even say nothing to him. Like,
I had my phone.
But
so
that's because you be taunting people, man.
Oh.
You know what you're doing.
And we had the gas.
this nigga got money and
water
shit.
heater.
These niggas got gas water heaters. And
I was like, oh.
So mine isn't gas. I thought mine was gas. I got a tank. Do you have a tankless or is it tank?
I don't know, fool.
He just paid.
he just lived there.
He just work.
Yeah, he just heard about it. It was like, I got this.
I'm just there, so
I literally found out because I was like, if my cousin was in the shower, I was like, dang, cuz. I was like, you took a cold shower. He's like, fool, this joke get hot. I'm like, oh, dang.
Fool, this joke get hot.
That's dope. I didn't know. So yeah, I thought mine was gas, and then I quickly realized it wasn't.
No,
so I
did you like
taking a cold shower.
realize that in the shower?
No, hell no.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, I look like.
I mean, it could have been hot at first, and then you was loving it, and then
No. If the hot water heater is not on, it's not hot at all.
I would just put a Facebook status on Facebook.
You didn't get the lukewarm, like ramen noodle
nothing.
warm.
Cold.
True.
Ice.
Dang.
Antarctic.
I'll put a status on Facebook and just be like, yeah, man, how y'all day going? And Sherman get up there, man, fuck y'all, man. I ain't got no power.
Because everybody talk about, oh yeah, I got power now.
No, that was Vance.
Like,
changed his profile picture to like a
Vance was lucky, dog. I was like, bro, you better count your blessings your power and go out, because you know your fish would have been dead. Instantly.
Oh yeah.
Because that filter would have went out, that fish would have been late.
And
you don't got no generator, you hurt.
Yeah, that's a lot of fish for him to try to conjure up and put in bags, and that's a lot. Right. He got a lot of fish.
Do we even have a backup plan for this?
Right, he got stingrays and seahorses and shit.
They can't last that long without the filter?
Nah. I mean, it depends. So they'll last like, I don't know specifically, don't quote me on, like maybe,
I think a couple of hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any more than like, I think 10 is pushing it.
Yeah,
honestly, because you gotta keep in mind that filter is adding things they need to breathe that water in. So that's like us being out of water trying to breathe, essentially.
But they're in water.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like us being in water.
We ain't about to start this water is wet conversation.
No, what I'm saying is it's like the equivalent of the fish not having a filter.
If
is the
someone
equivalent
farts
of
and
us
no one's there to smell it, does it stink?
Yeah, I'm weak. I ain't finna do this.
So obviously he's not engaged in the conversation. So I'm just gonna move on to the next.
It's cool.
I'm gonna move on to the next thing. It's all good.
You talking about the world is flat or not?
We're not doing this.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's not.
The world is a prison, bro.
Is it a flat
And
prison?
9/11 was a hologram.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard
That's
that
what
one.
his friend said. I was weak.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's how like somebody Sherman would say.
What does that even mean?
Like, you know, people that do really cool things and they're really
Yeah,
off
say
things.
I have a diverse group of friends.
You do have a diverse.
I
group
do
of
not
friends.
discriminate against
Sometimes you're a
anybody.
little too diverse. It's
Yeah,
like,
sometimes.
where were you guys where you met? Like,
I'm just
Where'd
asking.
you
I'll tell
meet
you.
him?
I'll tell you. If you ask, I'll let you know.
See, I don't know these people specifically. So
No, it's all good. I'm just saying, like, later. I don't
is
mind.
your
sharing.
do-rag on right now?
Is my do-rag on?
You seem like
Nah.
do-rag Sherman right
He
now.
ain't got a do-rag on sauce
Can you
today.
imagine
Well,
that?
He's
for
about to
now, I ain't
come
gonna say
out.
today.
You
As soon-
brought
as
this
soon-
out of me.
As
Okay.
soon as you
So don't
say
act-
some
don't
flat
act
earth
dirty.
stuff,
So is
like
the
you
world?
put, like
so,
I
so
put
is
a
the
ball
Earth
on
flat?
the table, why it don't roll?
Is the Earth flat to you? What you think, Eric? The world flat?
No, I think that's stupid.
Yeah, me too. Sharon, what's your take on it? I really haven't been here for the conversation, so I don't know.
You got Facebook?
Yeah, I didn't see that conversation though.
You see-
Yo, I
you see-
heard the earth was flat in certain spots. Man.
So I'm assuming that
Right.
you.
Yeah,
So I
so
think
shit.
we agree the Earth is round. Is like, are we on that same spectrum? Okay,
Shit.
I'm just making sure. 'Cause the
That's
Earth is
it?
flat shit is the dumbest shit I've heard.
I am not giving any energy to this conversation, in case you haven't noticed.
I'm
All
just,
right.
I just asking
I
I
questions.
mean,
talk
if the
about
world,
But you
if
do
the
on
world
Facebook.
flat all around, to be honest, what difference do it make to me?
I mean, real shit. We
I'm
live
gonna
here.
fall
Can
shit.
I
that.
still get from here to?
You can fall off the
That's
edge though.
exactly what
I'm just saying though, but if people fell off the edge in 2018, somebody would know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Like,
they'd be recording it on.
I hope
IG.
so.
We lit.
I'm just saying, like,
Niggas record everything.
72 passengers are gone. Like,
I feel like the first time I
and a
actually,
satellite out of space picks them up, just it going into the galaxy.
yeah,
Like, come on.
niggas
The
record
galaxy.
everything and make it big news. Like,
That would have been mad news. Like,
Yeah.
don't take a plane. No
but then
more.
again, like we said, it's
Nah,
2018.
they're gonna
like,
say the government covered it up.
yeah,
You can't argue with those
It sound
people
like one of the
because
cameras stopped
if
recording,
you
too.
argue with them, right, you say, "Oh yeah, we have images of the Earth. It's CGI." That right there alone tells me there's no conversation because you've already made your mind up. Anything I tell you, you're gonna rebuttal with it's CGI, it's fake, the government's covering up with no proof whatsoever of that. So I'm not gonna have that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you ain't have.
All right, so here's my last question then.
What you say?
You ain't had to use no
Not,
attitude.
not that you
Hey, it
believe
sound like one of
in
the
one
cameras stopped
specific theory,
recording
but
to
do
you.
you think
Yeah,
It
9/11
sounded like it.
has some scandal behind it?
9/11. I mean, I feel
Do
like
we
it's
know
some scandal
the full
behind it.
Okay, this is the only possibility I could think about it is that it wasn't planned, but some parts of it could have been used as a scandal for their game.
I agree.
But I mean, honestly, possibility it could be a scandal.
Here's my
Who
thing.
knows?
It's like with the technology we have, even back then, I just don't understand how it happens, to be honest.
Yeah, like
Like-
with this, all the security and everything that we got,
Like for instance,
yeah.
like a plane, for instance, like it's pretty huge. It gives off a lot of signals. So it's like, how far was that plane when it went off its route
right
to where you couldn't have maybe shot it down?
or whatever.
Because if the president had been in there, something would have been done
Yeah,
beforehand.
No,
I mean,
you
if
right.
you're,
Yeah.
but if you think about, if you're flying over New York City, where are you gonna shoot it down at? It's a city full of buildings everywhere.
I mean, but at the same time, it could be, you could have the science to think. I mean, first of all, if you're the military or whoever's looking over New York City, you better have every plan that ever was thought of.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But I
So
feel
if
like
this
that was
place
the
could shoot
problem.
you into the water, this way could shoot it so that more people don't die, because that was a terrible place to hit. It killed mad people in the building because was it the tallest building or one of the tallest?
It was the tallest one.
Yeah.
And then,
They were the
and,
tallest
and
one.
then it fell, killing a whole bunch of other people and hurting them.
But I feel like that's one thing. One problem with America is we feel so comfortable about nothing's gonna happen to us. Like even,
Oh, hold on.
even like
let me intervene with that. I feel like that's white America. I don't feel like us as
We get
blacks
spicy.
well, no.
feel like that because I feel endangered
Like
every
we don't
day I
think
step
a
out
plane
the
gonna hit
house.
us. We
Well,
just think
that's-
we're gonna get
that's
shot.
good.
Yeah,
There's one thing in particular, like Like stuff we do on a daily basis, like drive our vehicle.
Absolutely.
Definitely the way some people drive.
Oh yeah.
They act like it's not that big
Yeah.
of a deal because they drive every day.
Yeah.
They probably text and drive all the time, and it's never a problem until that one time is.
Yeah.
And it could be your death.
Yeah.
And you don't get that. You don't get
feel
that
like that's a lot
consequence
of
where you get to
things in
learn
life.
from it.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to trend the things going. All it takes is one time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but that's
That
like any like it, nowadays is anything though.
That is
Like it
anything.
could
It
be
is.
you going to the store and you getting shot.
Yeah,
just because you decided to go to the store at 5 o'clock.
Nowadays, when we got active shooters all the time. You know. What I'm
Yeah, I was
saying?
just about to say that. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all
Active
seen
shooters is a military term, but
yeah,
you
but I know what you mean.
mass shooters.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen the photo shoot I did with the young lady. She had got shot in her eye, and she
I
lost
did
her
see that.
eye. Yeah, and it's like
Jessica.
But yeah, that situation just like that. Like she won't do nothing but going to work. 2 cars pulled up beside her at a red light. They start shooting at each other. She caught in the middle.
That's crazy.
Like
Dang.
it just little situations like that. It just
I would have been so pissed. Dog, like
and she has
What are
such
the
a good
chances?
spirit about it though. Like she's so like
that's good. That's good.
you know what I'm saying. Like nothing can defeat her about it at
Yeah,
all.
no, that's great.
Well, sometimes
Shout out
even
to Jessica.
Definitely
Yeah.
shout out to Jessica.
I feel like sometimes I haven't had something like that happen to me, but at least from my opinion, I feel like stuff like that, even though it can be so bad and so negative, there can be a lot of positive that comes out of stuff like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
for sure.
Definitely.
Silver lining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I feel like there's silver lining in everything. You know what I'm saying? We oftentimes have negative things happen to us, and we always want to ask why, and not figure out how to use it to better ourselves.
That's
or
what me and
better
you were
other
just talking
people.
about in the car with
Right.
the dad situation, not having your dad around or having your dad around, but your dad was beating your ass every day or whatever the case may be. Like you gotta turn that into what you have to do better. Like I was telling Sharon, like
I did
with
that
me,
with myself.
yeah, like with me, my dad wasn't around, but
Me either.
me not having my dad showed me what to give my daughters. Like I'm not about to sit here and say, "Oh, my dad was bad, so I'm gonna be a bad father to my daughters." No, they didn't ask to be here.
Yo, thank
see.
you for saying that in the sense of like, black people are so stuck on what's happened
Yes, man.
that we've already identified the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we don't know what the problem is. It's when are we gonna decide to move forward?
move forward
you know what I'm
from
saying?
it,
We
like-
all got stories. We all got people we lost, things that's happened.
Absolutely.
But now that you can identify the problem, it's your choice.
It's your choice
You
to
can
fix
sit there and
it.
say, "Oh,
Well,
I didn't
see-
have this. I didn't have that."
Right.
Well, no, you probably can relate to it since you said you had that same thing. I didn't grow up without my father in my life as well,
Mm-hmm.
and there's definitely a lot of negatives. Like for one thing, you didn't have the father figure, of course, the obvious stuff. Somebody to help guide you in life or to help you not suffer some of the more severe consequences in life and kind of help you out with that stuff. But at the same time, the fact that my father wasn't there shows that he wasn't ready to be a good father to me, which meant that, or at least how I like to think of it, is that it was probably better that he wasn't in there.
Absolutely.
And from the result of that, from him not being there, even though I didn't have the father figure, I got to choose what type of man I wanted to be instead of following
Absolutely.
somebody's footsteps that wouldn't have been a good example for me.
Do you have a relationship with your dad now?
No.
See, I met my dad, and it ties into exactly what you said. When I met my dad, just meeting him, it showed exactly the man that I don't want to be.
I met
And,
him though.
Yeah, see, my
I
dad,
know him.
I'm not gonna sit, I'm not gonna be up here and say my dad ain't shit. I mean, he ain't,
Yeah, me
but
either.
you know what I'm saying? But he's not. But at the end of the day, like people ask me this all the time. Like I come off as an asshole, absolutely. Like, and I embrace it. But
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, you gotta think about it. I was raised in a household full of nothing but catty females. Like there was
Yeah, I got to
no
understand women
no
better,
male
too.
figure in my household
Yeah.
at all whatsoever. Like I had my uncle for a short period of time, but
Yo.
he was taken away like when I was 8 years old. So there was no form of masculinity in my home at all. So that's why I come off as a sarcastic asshole most of the time, because that's my mother, that's my aunt, that's my sister, my grandmother, that's all of them. But then it goes back to the purpose, like, at what point do you decide to be a man for yourself? Because like I have no male guidance at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
but yet
same thing.
everybody come to me and be like, "Yo, you're like one of the best fathers out here," and I had no blueprint for that. It's just I know what I was missing and what I know what my
felt
daughters
it.
would want.
You
yeah,
felt that.
and
That's
like
what I'm saying.
and my daughters now, like it ain't nothing nobody in the world could tell them about me. Like they know especially my youngest daughter. Like she going through it now because I'm here, but.
And see, one thing too for me is that on the flip side of it, your baby mom or your wife or whoever, I'm not talking about you, but just anybody in that situation. Like for me, with not having my father there, my mom was by herself and she worked 2 jobs. She busted her ass. She did all that, and I saw everything that she went through with me growing up and saw the pain and all that behind the scenes that people don't see obviously on the outside. So that just showed me like one part of being a good father is also taking care of the mother as well, not only just the kids and women. I mean, it all translates that. So that's why I say there's always, not even just talking about the family thing, but in general, it's always good to see the positives in a lot of different things and to put more energy into the positives and just recognize the negatives.
Absolutely.
The negatives mean something, but the positives can be a lot more impactful if you put more energy into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much I can really add to the conversation.
You can, because you grew up with a family.
I was fortunate enough, obviously, to have both parents in my household.
Yeah.
Whether it was their relationship perfect, probably not. And that's not my business to put out. You know what I'm saying? That's not really something I'm gonna go into like that. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody has their vice, everybody has their issues. Even people that do have families, they still have issues. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes having the family together can cause more harm than good.
Then splitting it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it all works out. So, but yeah. Yeah, no, man.
I think you turned out pretty well, Sherman. I think you did pretty well for yourself.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, so I think we covered a lot of good topics today. So we're gonna wrap it up with that. Everybody's watching again. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys coming and tuning in. Shout out to Shiino. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Pleasure to have you up here, brother.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we're gonna wrap up with that. Hit up our Patreon. We got Patreon. We'll post a link in the video. Definitely make sure you subscribe and then check us out for more. All right, 75 Junction out.